Welcome to Damon Does, and Damon does the GalaxyCon today, and I am here with fantasy cosplay wrestler Jake Manning. How you doing, man?
Good. Thank you very much for having me today. I had a very long night last night. I was very persnickety when I woke up this morning, so you put a smile on my face right away.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to be here.
How long have okay? So the fantasy cosplay. I know that would make Jim Cornette's head explode, but people like it.
That's why he's not here. He walked in, saw it, head exploded. He's gone. So.
That's what the mess was. That was the mess was. Okay, well, get well, Jimmy. We love you, and Georgia keeps. So how did you get into this?
This completely by accident.
Of course.
They ran a convention in Raleigh. They rented the High Spots ring, and then somehow I ended up on the show. I was supposedly booked, then not booked, then I magically just showed up and like, oh, we didn't realize you were going to be here. Oh. Luckily, we have a outfit for you, and they gave me the Shocker outfit.
Okay, that's Spider-Man.
Yes, the Shocker character is the test character for all newbies when it comes to FSCW.
Interesting.
If you can get Shocker over, you can get anything over. So I did so well with Shocker, they're like, you're going to be our Deadpool now.
Wow, wait. So
quite a promotion.
Yeah, that's the only way it could have been better is if he was maybe Captain America or Thor or something like that.
If I had hair, I would love to be Captain America. Captain America is my favorite of like everybody in the Marvel universe. I like what he stands for, and like everything that Captain America is about. I wish I could be Captain America, but unfortunately, this is what I look like. So we got to cover it up.
So you're working with the bald head like I am. Got it.
Yeah, bald head, also too disgusting looking face, just like Deadpool in the movie. So
somebody's being difficult, but being follically challenged, I understand. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm about to go back and look because I don't know how many bald heroes there actually are. They usually have a lot of hair and float. They have really pretty hair. And
there was one weekend where we did a whole Cobra invasion.
Yes.
So I got to be Dr. Mindbender, which was nice because that Deadpool mask is very tough to breathe in. And matter of fact, I would say impossible to breathe in. So
I'm just going to ask, how do you work out the matches? Like, is it similar to what we've done in the wrestling business, or how is it different?
Well, a lot of people that come out to these shows are fantastic, they're wonderful, but they're mostly comic book fans. They're mostly superhero anime fans. They don't necessarily watch professional wrestling on a regular basis.
Right.
So we have to, especially if you're booked in the first match of the show, you kind of got to give them the cues, like this is what professional wrestling is, this is the time to do this. You're allowed to yell at us, you're allowed to be interactive, you're allowed to be a little bit more extroverted. Because there's a lot of introverted people here, so we got to pull, it's a little bit harder to pull everything out of them and pull that emotion out of them. So you got to get that going a little bit. But then also too, because they're not wrestling fans, their attention spans are very short. They don't have a lot of patience for things, so we need to get ahead of that and give them as much action as possible.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of multi-man matches, a lot of things going on. The entrances always get a great reaction when they see their superheroes live and in person, and when they start doing stuff and interacting with other characters, like seeing Skeletor take on Captain America.
Right.
It's an amazing thing to see. When you see Deadpool wrestling Black Panther, Wreck-It Ralph, Casey Jones.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So like you get all these wonderful characters, like Spider-Gwen, and she's shooting webs, and we live in a different universe. And I think the only thing that's off limits is it's a no weapons policy.
Okay,
we have a strict no weapons policy.
That makes sense.
There's no guns. We stay away from swords. Although Deadpool did take a pickaxe to the head, but it was Yukon Cornelius's pickaxe. So. I guess it all kind of plays. It was animated. And of course it's Deadpool, so he can die and come back.
Right.
So if anybody can get hit with weapons, it's usually Deadpool because he regenerates.
Right on. Golly, that's awesome. So what are Deadpool's signature moves then?
Well, he does the maximum effort, which is basically just a trust fall off the top rope and just trust that people are going to be there and takes them out like bowling pins.
Gotcha.
There's also sunset flip buckle bomb in the corner.
Oh, nice.
So there's a nice little whiplash thing right there. That's how he usually decapitates most opponents. But part of the reason I'm a good Deadpool is because Deadpool doesn't win a whole heck of a lot. As you know from the comics, Deadpool fails a lot.
Right.
So Deadpool's usually, his typical finishing maneuver is getting pinned 1, 2, 3.
So you're looking at counting ceiling lights.
Yeah,
I'm very aware of that when I've done that quite a few times myself.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna switch it up a little bit because I usually do. I'm doing a 6 questions podcast, which I would love to have you on later down the road. Be looking for that. What are you curious about now? You've done wrestling. I know you do stand-up comedy. What what are you curious about? What gets you up in the morning? What's like, oh, that's interesting. Like, Georgia, could please keep us in the camera lot.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you curious about?
What am I curious about? I always do this thing. I fashion myself as a dollar store philosopher.
Okay.
For whatever reason. There's always some big, large question that I'm trying to answer and ask of myself and into the things that I do. For a long time, I was trying to figure out, what is success? How do you become successful? That was a question I would ask people trying to figure out.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've narrowed down an answer in that success is not something that you attain. It's not a mountaintop. In fact, success are smaller things that you attain.
Right.
All moments of time. Success is merely like whatever work you put into something, you see the results of the work that you put in. That is truly what success is.
That self-satisfaction? That's what I'm trying to. Is that part of it, or?
It's basically whatever. Basically, I narrowed it down. I was like, well, the work you put in, do you see the results? And are you satisfied with the results, or can you accept the results? Satisfaction is a big term to put into there, but like,
Fair.
Can you accept the results?
That's a more accurate statement.
Yeah, that's a more accurate statement. But they're smaller little hilltops.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a mountaintop. It's hilltops.
Right.
So now the big question that I ask myself is, can you be a good person and successful? As we get to start to see a lot of people, and you've seen a lot of people that are like, this person who's on TV doing well, he's maybe not the nice person. But then the thing that drives him to be a bad person might have been the thing that drives him to success. So now the question is myself, can I keep my integrity as a good person and then still be successful myself? So then that always challenges me every single day to still strive towards my goal of success and multiple successes. And at the same time to be nice, kind, generous to the people along the way. Can I obtain that and then achieve a level that I can be see as self-satisfactory to me?
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Like I said, I'm a dollar store philosopher.
At the same time, though, if you can cut it down to something very basic that, like a 6-year-old can understand, that makes...
She's enthralled, by the way. During the whole time she held that camera so perfect. She's doing such a wonderful job.
You're doing a great job, baby. We love you. Man, I'm trying to think of it's like, wow, that was a really good answer.
I'm very deep. I know I seem like a very surface type of guy, but I'm far deeper than you can imagine.
Most people are. That's why I like hearing. That's why I want to do this, because I want to hear people's stories. Like, so were you a comic book fan and a wrestling fan growing up, or?
Yes, I was very much a mixture of both. I was just thinking about it this morning. I was like, I feel like I'm the weird kid. I was very introverted growing up.
Yeah.
Because I liked wrestling, I liked comic books. I did sports because I felt like I had to.
Right.
And I was good at it, and I excelled at it, and luckily I'm physically able-bodied, so I take advantage of that.
Right.
I have some athletic gifts to me, so I think I've squeezed whatever I possibly could do, parlayed it into something, as Arn Anderson would say.
Yeah.
But no, I've always a big X-Men fan. X-Men, like anytime I walk through the cons here and I see anything with the X-Men logo on it, I have to stop, take a look at it, see if it's like right up my alley. Is it the type of artwork that I like? Is it a t-shirt I could wear? Whatever. Anything X-Men related. I am a big James Bond fan, so if anybody's got any James Bond things, that right away pulls my attention immediately. But always been a professional wrestling fan. Anything pro wrestling wise, that also catches my eye as well. So if it's like a certain thing, like I like an art piece, a t-shirt, I'm like, okay, well, let's take a look at it. I have to go buy an action figure from somebody here in a little bit. I just saw of Eddie Guerrero, but I'm mostly going to give that to a gift as a friend of mine, to a friend of mine. But that's something. But it might be hard to part from because it's a very awesome Eddie Guerrero figure. It's like LWO classic limited edition.
Wow,
it's pretty awesome. It's pretty. I hope it's still there. So if it's still there, it's mine. It's gonna be my friend's. So,
double-sided question: favorite wrestler, and favorite comic book character.
Favorite comic book character. We'll start there right away because that's easy. Right away, Cyclops, and that's part of the reason. Hopefully, I had no stress on the mic. Cyclops, right there. Any X-Men T-shirt that I see that has Cyclops on, even if it's like a big group thing, I'm buying it. I'm a sucker for it. In my podcast studio, I have X-Men comic books like tacked up on my wall, and they're all X-Men covers that primarily feature Cyclops.
Why Cyclops? That's an unusual answer.
Because I feel like he is the best X-Men. He's got the most depth. Because everybody likes Wolverine, is like, oh, the loner, but that's how many times in entertainment do you see that? The loner, a misunderstood guy. But Cyclops, he's been there since the beginning.
Right.
Professor Xavier tasked him to be the leader of the X-Men. And what
Right.
happens every X-Men episode or issue, there's always a situation where Cyclops is like, we need to work together. We need to work together. We need to come together. And we need to fight as a team. And everybody's like, yeah, whatever. And Rogue's like, yeah, whatever. And Gambit's like, whatever, screw you, Wolverine. He's always, let's pull together, everybody's like pushing apart. And then all of a sudden there's a moment where everybody comes together and they work as a team. And then they achieve their goal. And then everybody's like, nice job coming together, Wolverine. Nice job, Gambit. When like, Cyclops like, I've been saying it's at the beginning for us to work together. And then you call me a Boy Scout on this entire journey of us working together. And there's always this like, and now as you see in the comic book, he's become more militant, much more harder, got more of an edge to him now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's really, since the passing, spoiler alert, Professor Xavier dies in the comics, Cyclops had to evolve. And his philosophies had to evolve. And because of his relationship with Emma Frost, since Jean Grey went through the whole Phoenix back and forth,
Right.
and all that drama, and now Emma Frost, who's much more sarcastic, much more, got more of an edge to herself, gave Cyclops much more of an edge. So he's got this kind-heartedness about himself, but he hides that now.
Interesting.
He's a much more in-depth character now. He's probably the most fascinating, and he's evolved far more than most of the other ones were. Wolverine's always been Wolverine.
Sure.
Cyclops has evolved into this much more interesting character now.
Very cool.
Much like myself, I've always saw the world as black and white, and as I see there's more shades of gray, I must evolve myself. I, as well, am an Eagle Scout, so seeing somebody evolve from this goody two-shoes guy evolving into something much more realistic, believable, and understanding the world is far more gray than we could ever have imagined.
Right.
That's why I identify with him the most.
That makes a lot of sense. So, favorite wrestler?
Favorite wrestler? That's a tough one. There's so many of them that I like. There's so many that are friends of mine that I like so much that it's just so hard to narrow down.
Who made you a fan? Who's the first one who made you a fan?
Easy question, easy answer is probably the best answer. First match I ever saw, and if you see the way that I wrestle, this will all make sense to you. Junkyard Dog versus Terry Funk from Saturday Night's Main Event. And if you've ever seen that match before and how ridiculous Terry Funk oversells everything, falls down, bumps around, and looks like a moron.
Right.
And see how I wrestle now, it all makes sense.
That, you know, when you said Terry Funk, I was like, okay, because even from when he was younger, bring up the camera, baby. When he was younger, you could, you know, you believed in him.
Yeah.
And even as he got older, even if it was all silly and crazy, you still believed, no matter what he did, you believed in that stuff.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And my daughter is getting bored and distracted, so I guess we'll cut it.
She's
here.
worked hard. She's done a
But she has
fantastic
worked
job.
hard. She has done a great job.
She's done a fantastic job.
We
She looks
love
great.
you, Sweet Pea.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
And if you're at a GalaxyCon and you gotta come see Deadpool.
FSCW anytime. So.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
I hope you had a great day, everyone.